Hello, everybody. Welcome back to From Chai to Cheerios. I'm Kriti.
This is Rahul.
All right. So, I know in the last video we talked about how we met, how how we got into an arranged marriage, and how we eventually got married. And it was a very high level video. We didn't go too deep into it. We didn't go into a lot of the journey that we had and how things worked out from there. It's been almost 9 years
Yep.
since we got married. To me, it's shocking to think how time flew by, because it feels like just a couple years ago, maybe like I would say 5 at this point. But yeah, we made it to 9 years.
Yeah, and when people call it actually marriage is a journey, I can say. That's the word they use normally.
Mm-hmm.
And even though the journey felt short, there are lots of ups and downs in the marriage. It's not like a straightforward path that we had actually. So we had our ups and downs as like any other couple in the world, I can say.
Yeah.
But yeah, what you said is right. It's like sometimes we feel like, are we really married like 9 years?
Yeah.
If someone asks like when you are married, actually, when are we married? Okay, then
It makes me feel old, actually.
yeah, when someone is like 9 years, and okay, yeah, it's fine. I mean, it's just 9 years. I
Yeah.
mean, when you see like couples who are married like 50 years, 60 years,
Yeah.
they still have a healthy life. They still have a good life actually.
Yeah.
So we are compared to them, we are just starters actually. But
Yeah.
still, it feels a lot. 9 years is a big time. So
It is.
yeah, that's how the time flew by actually, I can say.
I think mainly it has to do with COVID too, because since 2020, I think time is just accelerating more than anything, and I think that also played a part.
Yeah, the time when we came back to states or even married and everything, there's like at least 3 to 4 years of time that went in like COVID and everything, and the whole world went into like a transition mode kind of thing, and people doesn't even remember now, like when they talk about COVID, like, oh, you know what, we had COVID or something like that. But it's a very very short time, but it took lots of lives, and it made everyone lives up and down actually. That includes us for sure. But we battled through that. We are here. We are still alive. But
Touch wood.
yeah.
I think with our marriage, there were a lot of challenges because everyone asks us. I think the first question when people ask us when they find out that our marriage is arranged is, are you serious? Like, how did that even happen? And how do you guys make it work? Because you barely knew each other before you got married, right? And that's the thing. Like, we like in the previous discussion, we talked about how we only knew each other for like a week before we got engaged, and then we had a period of 4 months after the engagement where you were in Germany and I was in India, continuing my studies and finishing up my degree. And, we were communicating through it all. We saw, both our grandfathers passed away, so we were going through loss and grief just at that same time.
Yep.
And we barely even got into, marriage plans and wedding prep. And we all basically jumped into it last minute. Like when we realized, oh, it's like a month away. I think that's when we started to really kickstart everything. So from that point, we had tons of ups and downs.
Yep.
And so it wasn't an easy journey. Like if I'm going to be honest, it's not perfect. Like marriage is not perfect. It's not all a bed of roses, and it's not all of the things that people post about on reels. It's not it's not that at all.
Yeah, true actually. Like, I mean, even in our marriage we had some of our distance relationships. We are not like together all the time. You travel to different country, I travel to different country to make our life work and everything.
Yeah.
And when people are together, like, let's assume like, two strangers actually, even though we had a chat, we talked a lot about like, how our life is going to be and stuff. but talking is something different than living in it actually.
Yeah.
And if the talking and the living don't match, and we had a totally different life than what we thought actually, that's a whole different thing, let's say.
Yeah.
And to make it work, let's say, to have this relationship stand even though you're not together and stuff, it's very hard, and healthy advice I can say is that the lesser you involve the people actually in your life, the more better your life is going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, we learned it hard ways, I can say, but for people probably who are watching this podcast, actually, I can say that, you know what, if you want a healthy marriage, involve as less people as you can in your discussions, in your talks, in your life, let's say. I mean, especially your private conversations and stuff, actually,
Yeah.
I can say, so that your marriage will stay in a healthy area.
Yeah.
Because it's simple as that. So every chef knows what to do with the recipe. They'll keep some masala here,
Yeah.
some salt here, some spice over there. So that will ruin the entire recipe actually. Just the same thing happens in your marriage actually. The more people involved in your marriage, the worse it will get.
Yeah. I agree. And I think that's the case with a lot of people. It's not just arranged marriage or love marriage
Yep.
in general. I think that's a mistake that everybody makes.
Yeah.
Because falling in love with somebody and exploring them is different, and leading life together, living in one space, is different.
Yep.
And I think that changes a lot of dynamics too.
Yep.
Because when you're in love, you're barely involved with family matters, and you're barely involved in like the hardcore decisions that go day to day, right?
That's why it's called dating actually,
Right.
right? So basically they did not build a house, they did not build a family or anything. So the girl will live in her house, the boy will live in his house, and they meet and they chat and they do all good stuff, not
Yeah.
bad stuff. Because
Yeah.
when you're in a dating phase, or let's say exploring phase, actually you will try to be as good as you can, so that you can impress that boy or girl, let's say.
Right.
So that's how it is.
Exactly.
But the reality of marriage is totally different. That's where the finances come in, that's where the numbers come in, that's where all those credit cards, debts, this, that, everything will come into place. And if you don't know how to manage those things, and if one person is taking all the burden and the other person is not doing it, or something like this, or the other person is not caring your finances or how the budget is going to be and stuff like this, that's where the chaos comes. This is one of the things I'm saying in the married life. So there's
Yeah.
like 100 other things that you can learn.
Yeah.
But that's one of the things that you should understand. Like it's not just like you're married and you have your life and he has his life. No, it's like you're building a life together. You're
Yeah.
building like a home together, for
Yeah.
example. So
Yeah. And I mean, people are valid when they say like they're scared of getting into arranged marriage. Their points are valid. Like the fact that they don't know this person, and the fact that they're scared of what that person is going to turn out to be. And I think a lot of the time it's also the fear of, what if this person doesn't support me
yeah.
after? And that mainly has to do with like maybe for women mainly, I can speak on behalf of women, is we think, oh, is he going to let me work after marriage? Is he going to be supportive in the sense, will he defend me when I need support? If someone from his side, or from someone that he knows, says something wrong about me, or says something offensive about me or something, will he defend me?
Yep.
And I think another fear is, if when it comes to decisions in responsibility, like, will he choose me? In certain instances is also a fear that women have, because all of their life, especially South Asian women, we're made to feel like we don't belong in our household. It's not direct. They don't directly say it a lot of the times, but it's always like, oh, you're going to go away and get married anyways, right? And you're going to go into your in-laws' place. You're going to belong to another family. But when we get married, it's also the same case, because even though we are welcomed into the family, like most of us, when we're welcomed into the family, we're still an outside person.
Mm-hmm.
in that household. We're still new.
Yep.
And people may understand us, people may love us, and people may not, right?
Yep.
And so that's also something that scares us because we're always in this identity like crisis where do we belong? And I think that's also another fear that women have.
It's what they say actually. Like a woman has like two houses all the time, and they are confused in between like where they belong.
Yeah.
And the abandoning of a girl from her own family is a bad thing, I can say.
Yeah.
So even the government says it actually, like lots of government, for example Indian government says it actually, the girl has equal rights on everything that a boy has actually, from the family side, let's say. It's because that you know they don't want the girl to be a separate person actually. It's not like once you're married to a person, your identity won't change, right?
Yeah.
You still raised in that family for 20 years, and as per what science says actually, not me, it's your early childhood days. So that's where your good memory comes from.
Yeah.
The rest of it is all like you have your financial burdens, ups and downs, jobs, responsibilities, career, blah blah blah, let's say children growing up and all those things. But the early childhood days, the good days actually of your is going to come from your parents' house actually, rather than whom you're getting married actually. So that whole narrative should be something that the people should understand and acknowledge, and embrace the fact that the girl always have two families, but it's not like she's leaving one family and going to the other family, and this family should abandon her or something like that's not the case. That's totally wrong actually, in my perspective.
Yeah, I agree. And I think to add to that, I think it's a blessing for women because you get not one family but two families, and you are the balance between both.
Yep.
And you are the strength of both, right? And so that's a very big thing for women. And no matter where they go, they will always support both of their families as long as they are treating her well, and everything is going well in the marriage front. And I think a lot of the things that we need to understand when it comes to marriage, be it arranged, be it love, I think the concept of being together, making it work, and balancing things out is core. Whether or not you've dated before, or whether or not you've known each other from before, it's important that post that marriage phase, you understand what things help both of you balance things out so that you make it work.
As they say actually, when you get married in, like, for example, let's say Hindu culture, or let's say even Christianity, or whatever that is actually, let's say they take the vows, right?
Yeah.
The vows are not just words. You say, you know what, I'll take care of the lady or a man actually, or they're in sickness and health, for example. That's what the vows that you do in Hindu as well, like you take care of the lady actually. That means that you actually mean those words. So a woman goes through a lot of things in her life, and it's not easy. So for men, yeah, it's not easy for men also. For men, it's a different whole story, because that's what I say. Men always goes with the numbers. If he is healthy and good, actually, they always go with the numbers. But for women, numbers are the minimal thing. They have 100 other things that they have to really care for. And if you are married actually, that means technically you are also being involved in her life, in her medical areas as well. So there are lots of things that I don't want to blame it actually, but Indian men don't know how the things work. It goes same for foreign men as well here actually.
Yeah.
Understanding a woman is a universe in itself actually. There is no way that you can understand a woman, but there is some things that makes your life easy by at least feeling her pain or understanding where she is standing. I mean, that's what they say. There's a saying that they say, like think in other person's shoes actually, right? There's the same way, think in your wife's shoe or your husband's shoe actually. You will really see the pain actually over there.
Yeah.
And that's where I can say that we started making our marriage better by understanding each other's, by getting into other person's shoes actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think getting into this topic where balance is key, and to your point, understanding each other's perspective is
Yep.
important. And in the beginning, it's very hard to do that because in arranged marriage, the biggest challenge here is that all our life we're taught not to speak to the opposite sex. And then suddenly you're supposed to meet somebody of the opposite sex, and then you're supposed to be compatible with them, decide to get married with them, and make it work.
Yep.
How people think that it works is beyond me. Our parents' generation and everybody made it work, but there were a lot of gaps that they had too that they're afraid to accept. And whether we accept it or not, majority of the time there's no balance in a lot of those relationships, right? And even if there is balance, there's still some sort of gap that happens where the woman is not working maybe, or one of them is working, and there's like that imbalance there. Not understanding finances, like you said. All these things have happened up until our parents' generation, but from our generation, since majority of us are educated, are getting degrees, are getting a career, are settling, we are getting to a point where we have a balanced equation. Yep. Right? And so both of us are fighting for that equality. And I think in that fight, we forget to stay grounded in a lot of these cases. And I think that's where ego also comes in play. And I think that's also something that in the beginning of any marriage is ego, and that fight for balance is the one that actually makes it more challenging.
Yeah. I mean, back then, if you look, actually, the whole family situations are totally different. Let's say there used to be like one person in the family who used to work, let's say make money, and the other person used to like take care of the house, children, living, everything. Let's say there's like one person is having a full-time job like to make money, and the other person has a full-time job to take care of the family and everything. Let's say what I feel is that, let me ask this question before. Okay. Before, like you are even married actually, did you ever use a credit card?
No, I actually never used a credit card.
Did you even know like what credit card does, how to do the payments, how to manage it, and all those stuff actually?
I know how to, like, because a good thing that my parents used to do is they taught me how to use like checks and balances. Because before, when my parents used to stay here, they never had credit cards, by the way. So they taught me like how a check works, and I used to go and submit. So right now we have like an automated system where apartments collect your rent automatically through these payments and things, right? Back then, what we used to do was, my mom used to give me a check. She used to say, by this so and so time that the office closes, go and drop it off. If they say like it's been totaled or something, just say okay. If there's a balance that's remaining, just say take it out in the next payment, right? Yep. And so I think that's one thing that I kind of know. And we learned how to sign checks and understand what each of those things mean, banking, how it works. But I think the concept of credit cards was introduced very late because we didn't use credit cards.
The reason why I'm asking it actually is, it's not just you actually. There are lots of people like me, for example. I even don't know how to use a credit card until, let's say, 2017, 18 actually. Let's say. That's too late actually for me.
So
until
even
we got in
married,
Germany,
basically.
For example, I used only like one stupid credit card actually that barely has like 500 euros in this. The limit is 500 euros actually.
Right.
And I barely use it actually. So the whole transactions runs with debit and everything, let's say, over there. So I never use the credit card. So That's what I'm saying. So even though you're grown up, actually, there's lots of things that people did not teach you
Yeah.
in reality how the world works.
Hmm.
And even if you see in US, I mean, every person has a credit card actually,
Mm-hmm.
pretty much I can
Yeah.
say. The reality of understanding a partner is important, and the reality of understanding finances is also important in a marriage, in my
Absolutely.
perspective. The world doesn't run with air actually.
Yeah.
Even though you have oxygen, actually they sell the oxygen too for
Yeah.
the money. So
Yeah.
I feel like money is dominating the oxygen in lots of areas,
Yeah.
and money is dominating the water actually in lots of areas, because
Yeah.
you need to buy the water. It's not
Hmm.
for free. So that's how the world is right now. So that is something that, any married couple should know actually. Like, if you're getting into marriage, it means that you're getting completely into the marriage. It's like a whole package actually. So house chores, yes, your responsibility, partner responsibility. Health and sickness, your responsibility, partner responsibility. Finances, your responsibility, partner responsibility. Everything, every small and big thing that you do in the house is an equal responsibility between the partners. And if you understand that fact, actually, things will be way easy. If you
Yeah.
don't understand that fact, it's like you are sinking a ship. At one
Yeah.
side of the ship, you are keeping like 100 lbs of the luggage actually, and other
Mm.
side you have zero, right?
Mm-hmm.
This will definitely sink.
Yeah.
This person will definitely sink,
Mm-hmm.
or this person will bust out.
Yeah.
One of other things will happen, and the marriage will be like broken ship for sure.
Yeah. And I think to your point, like even if women are not working, there's still cases where that we have homemakers that support their husbands, which is great, but their job is really difficult
Yep.
because you don't have house help here like you do in India, and so you have to do every single thing yourself. If you have kids, you have to take care of them while doing all of these things, and then once your partner comes back home, you have to take care of them as well. So I think the partner that's working needs to understand that this person that's staying at home
Mm-hmm.
is not just sitting idle. They're doing everything they can to make this work for you.
That's
So
the
you have
balance.
to do your part
Yep.
also. So yes, you are working, yes, you are stressed, right? I understand meetings are hectic, there's the market's really bad. You want your job to be secure. All that stress is there. It's valid, 100% valid. But when you come home, spending time with your kids, if you have kids, or spending time with your partner, if they're doing the dishes, unload the dishwasher. If they're doing the laundry, fold the clothes. If they're sweeping, do the mopping. If they're vacuuming, do the mopping. If they're cleaning here and there, just kind of help them with cooking or something like that.
Yep.
That balance is important. And I think, um, like you said, to the point where if you don't have that balance, one or the other is going to get saturated
Yep.
with being overloaded and out of bound, and it's going to lead to an argument or lead to an outburst because they're so stressed.
Just to keep a point over there, people are like, are you serious that you are like 100% perfect? Are you serious that you're 100% perfect couple or something like
We're
this?
not.
I keep a statement right there saying that we are definitely not 100% perfect couple.
Yeah.